In your space there are good entities as well, which are as all-covering aware of your matters. The entities of outer space do harm to you every day when they are over there because they can act out of sight, but although by influencing into your matters. Everywhere one was good to your matters as well, but your futures were very changing in different ages. The future of modern times is very punishing in later times because you have made from your animals production animals, which is wrongful for our animals as well. Truly, animals should be allowed to accomplish their own functions more freely than be in one place as continually stressed. All of these would require slightly understanding from the meaning of life in your religion than what you experience on these days as meaningful. Your future accomplishes terrible events probably taking place. According to some quarters, your future is mostly eases gained while technologies are developing. But we see even further than that, when you have difficulty increased already in modern times. And plain increase of technologies and information in itself does not bring a more stable society. On planet Earth there are very remarkable problems to solve in the future. Into these belong also artificial intelligences, although to humans the most dangerous are other humans, who might arrive also from outer space to make your mutual activity more difficult. On planet Earth there are very great thoughts, which usability elsewhere is slightly questionable, because they are as all-covering more truly living than the inhabitants of planet Earth. Because in the future there are very complex problems, you will shoot each other still for a long time so that unity would grow onto a higher level. Your history is similar to your future, so complete destruction as well as possible. Not even with greater injustices you will not be making to all difficulties. Because your meaning is to everyone else uninspiring. You are only to each other meaningful while living on your planet Earth. But the other inhabitants of the universe do not experience your meaning as anything greater during any age. Their technologies are in so great proportions developed that from your doings there is no benefit for them. The entities of outer space will become more visible to you. Once you will gain quantum technology to observe your environment, from which does that you will be able to observe matters on the level of a dimension, which can be manipulated also by the spiritual world. So you will gain all meaningful forth, when only you can think on the level of the spiritual world. On planet Earth one was very meaningful in modern times when the Creator as well committed his matters on the level of the spiritual world while also noticing the entities of outer space. So he acted like a witch that is making good, into whose matters one does not much intervene, because into him one trusts in accordance with all. In later times he will become to make wonders still more than in these days. You are in very great scale becoming reasonable from all your foolishnesses of earlier times, because you are gaining societies to function, and no one feels themselves as outsiders, so you can make from your world to be in accordance with later times. Because nowhere there is all-covering injustice either, you can be without care in your world. Into this, one does not gain permissions that you would be destroyed caused by jealousy either. Because in the outer space one always threatens, without accomplishing this threat almost at all in other times else than in a perfectly wrongful situation where planet Earth is in modern times a bit less. From nowhere you will find all-covering injustice either. But you are able to accomplish also in accordance with us all in Parpatrines. In our earlier times you were good to our humans a bit less than you even imagined. In your future of planet Earth there are very meaningful matters promised during all ages. After modern times you will be in a completely new kind of society of yours. These writings one can hold as your society's supporting pillars, because they have been written as dictated by the spiritual world, from which due the final functioning of these writings. You are unable with your reason to think further than these writings, because the spiritual world owns the information also about your future, from which you are not able to yourselves be aware of. All the world's humans do in overall matters, which is much pleasing to the ones in power, because they can use the abilities of humans into their own goals, from which does war as well. Such abusing of society for own goals is possible in modern times, but will change because you will receive visitors from your outer space, whose matters will make from your own matters trivially small. And so you have to get along better also in between each other than what one requires in these days from humans. As a choice is to become doomed to destruction or to get under care. which is your situation in this moment by the spiritual world. To get under care is to you still unknown, because this has continued for thousands of years, that we would gain all function according to our will from you. Although this care of the spiritual world cannot continue endlessly, but you have to be grown into adulthood, which means taking responsibility from every activity of yours without explaining from the part of injustices. Such explanations are completely wrongful and harmful, made-up justifications to do harm to your environment, for example. Although no one can regret without the activity of the Creator, from which dues to all many difficulties to gain the life on your planet Earth more orthodox.